Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to compare two very interesting growth stocks and answer which one is the better growth stock to buy right now. Is it Palantir stock or is it Snowflake stock? I'm going to look at the two short-term results in their most recent quarter. I'm going to look at their long-term profitability profile. I'm also going to compare their valuation, and finally I will answer which one is the better growth stock to buy. So let's begin starting with Palantir, which saw its revenue increase by 18% in the most recent quarter to 525 million. Earnings per share was positive 1 penny compared to a loss per share of 5 cents, and the company said it will be profitable in each and every quarter in 2023. Of course, Palantir is being fueled by rising artificial intelligence popularity. The company uses artificial intelligence to implement better solutions for its clients. The company is also benefiting from higher interest rates now because it's got nearly $3 billion of cash on its balance sheet that it's able to earn higher interest income on. So really good prospects for Palantir in the near and long term. Snowflake, meanwhile, saw its revenue increase by 48% to 624 million. That was a considerable slowdown, and many investors thought that was actually bad news. It's surprising that a company growing 48% might be viewed as being bad news, but that's what investors look at when you're slowing down your revenue growth rate. The loss per share worsened to 70 cents from 53 cents in the same quarter last year. Snowflake did say it was going to be more cautious in its hiring plans. For 2024, the company is forecasting revenue of 2.6 billion, which would be an increase from 1.94 billion in 2024. Once again, that growth rate would be a slowdown from the growth rates in recent years. Still, Snowflake's cash flow from operations increased to 300 million. That was up from 184 million in the same quarter last year. The big risk here with Snowflake is that it mentioned that its clients are reducing data consumption. Big companies are changing their data policies, going from keeping 5 years of data to now just keeping 3 years of data. That's just one example. But many big companies are reducing how much data that they're keeping and thereby reducing the consumption, storage, usage. Their queries are running faster, all of which is leading to less revenue for Snowflake. So that's something to keep an eye out for. While the company is growing very robustly, it has some headwinds ahead. Now let's look at the term operating profit margin profile over the trailing 12 months. Both Palantir and Snowflake showing a nice upward trend here. Even though these numbers are negative, I don't mind to see negative numbers for companies that are growing very rapidly, so long as they are showing progress towards profitability that demonstrates economies in scale. I like to see that because at this rate, if they continue, you can extrapolate that they will reach profitability over the next several quarters. So, or several years maybe for in Snowflake's case. But Palantir way ahead here, negative 5.93 operating profit margin over the trailing 12 months, compared to Snowflake with negative 41% operating profit margin. I would not be surprised if over the next 3 to 5 quarters, if Palantir's TTM operating margin turns positive. Not be surprised at all. So now let's look at valuation. None of these two stocks are cheap. Snowflake trading at the more expensive valuation. Snowflake stock at a forward price to earnings of 185. Palantir, meanwhile, at a forward PE of 59.38. This coming after the stock has absolutely soared in the last month or so. Remember, I had recommended Palantir stock as a buy a couple of months ago. So if you had taken heed of that recommendation, you will have benefited from the recent surge in Palantir's stock price. But nevertheless, today, if I was to pick one of these two growth stocks to buy right now, I would pick Palantir. I like that Palantir is trading at nearly 1/3 the valuation of Snowflake. I understand that Palantir is not growing revenue as quickly as Snowflake is. However, right now, revenue growth is not my priority. Right now, profitability, cash flow improvements are are my priority, given that the Federal Reserve is constraining money supply, trying to limit growth. All right, so that's my decision for these two. I would pick Palantir. That's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.